Guys, we did it! The 2021 Milwaukee Brewers in this March to October won the World Series. And it was kind of a crazy ride, all things considered, between my consistency with posting, some of our struggles, some of our bright spots, all kinds of minor leaguers getting called up and playing significant roles. And today, we're going to wrap it all up into a nice little neat bow, look back at a few things that we couldn't see in the March to October menus. We're going to hit continue and franchise. And then at the end, I'm going to tell you who is going to be the next team that is getting a March to October. We're going to try and squeeze one in here before the end of MLB 21 and before MLB 22 comes out. But just real quick, before I hit this, before I continue, just like looking at this line graph, I mean, it kind of tells a story here. For the first 20 games, look at that. Look at how bad things were. I believe the number or the record that we got off to, the start we got off to at the very beginning was 3-16. We started this thing out with a record of 3-16. Now, you know, baseball is a long season. That is just a small chunk of it, but starting things off 3-16 does not set a good tone for the rest of the season. I think our projected wins were like in the low to mid 70s. I had a comment, I remember, on one of those first couple episodes that said I should reconsider, or no, not reconsider. They said I should consider restarting the March to October. And I'm glad I didn't, because we bounced back in a big way. You can see they're right at that 20 win mark. We started picking up some wins. Then it was really, you know, around that 40 win mark, we really got going. Big win streak there. We didn't look back since. We got back to probably around 500 during that part. And then just, you know, tons of streaks after that point, and we got all the way up to a 102-60 record. It was actually the third best record in the National League, might have been, no, the fourth best record in all of baseball, but because the two better records than us in the National League came from the same division, we got the 2 seed, took on the Mets, took them down in 4 games. Then we moved on in the NLCS to take on the Dodgers. As per usual, took them down in 5 games, and then moved on to the World Series where we faced the Yankees, took them down in 6 to become the World Series champs. And obviously I haven't clicked this yet. I haven't continued in franchise. I don't know who won what awards. I don't know. Well, I guess that's really the only thing we can look at, because you can't go back and look at the All-Star rosters, if I remember right. Now, you know what? Before we do go in, just to refresh myself, I want to look at my stats. Make a few predictions here. If I had to predict, I feel like the game has typically in the past given more credit to hitters when it comes to postseason awards. So I think they're going to consider Yelich the postseason MVP, maybe also the World Series MVP. Can't really argue against that. He had a great postseason when really nobody else did. Taylor did for a while, but at the end he kind of fell off. So really the only one who kept it consistent, playing at a high level throughout the entire of the postseason, was Christian Yelich. 7 home runs, drove in 13 runs, 1279 OPS. I mean, he went off. So I bet that's who they're going to say is the postseason MVP. You could also give a shout to Aaron Nola. You could do the same with Woodruff and Burns, even though they didn't pitch nearly as much as Nola did, but both of them had a sub-1 ERA and WHIP. You could even put Woodruff in the conversation for World Series MVP. I think he only pitched the 1 game in the World Series, but it was a complete game shutout to kind of turn the tides of the series after losing the first game. Chafin threw 9 innings, not giving up a single run. Williams through 10 innings, I think he gave up 2. I think both of the runs, both of them were scored in the World Series, but most of his innings came in the World Series, so he still put up really good numbers. Hader pitched 8 innings, got 4 saves. The only run he gave up was that solo walk-off home run to Max Muncy for the only win the Dodgers had against us. When it comes to the regular season awards, it'd be interesting to see who gets what also, because like Woodruff had a great year. You could also put Burns in there. More strikeouts, 2.7 ERA. You could put Bowden Francis in the conversation for Rookie of the Year. 233 strikeouts in under 200 innings pitched with a 3.09 ERA. I'd actually be shocked if he's not Rookie of the Year. And I mean, you gotta put Yelich's name in contention for MVP also. I don't know, what kind of seasons the rest of the league had. It's been a while since I looked at all those stats, so I'm not really up on it. But I mean, you can't look at these numbers and say he's not in the MVP conversation. So we could have him winning that too. We could have some hardware coming our way. So let's see. Continuing franchise, and here we go. All right, so first, just to check, if I click awards, you can't look at all-star voting from the regular season. That's how it normally is, and then yeah, you can't check the box scores of the all-star game itself. So we don't know for sure definitively who all the all-stars were. Probably back after it happened. I don't really remember, but we probably were able to see like just who had the all-star icons pop up and whatever. So really the only thing to go back and look at, we weren't able to see final league leaders if I remember right, but we can't look at that right now because it's still in postseason mode. But let's click on the awards here. I think it's gonna pop up first saying postseason MVP. So I'm not gonna look at that. I'm gonna close my eyes, go to regular season MVP first, and we'll go through all the regular season awards first, and then see who won postseason stuff. All right, so here we are on MVP award, and yeah. I didn't realize what kind of year DeGrom had, so it makes sense that he was MVP looking at that. 1.7 ERA, 248 innings, my god. 21-4 record. Looks like the Mets were finally kind to DeGrom this year. 270 strikeouts, the 1.7 ERA. Ridiculous season. But Yelich finished number 2 in voting. So if it wasn't for, DeGrom having a ridiculous year, we might have had it with Yelich. Bellinger finished 2. It's kind of funny that both of these guys took the biggest nosedives throughout the season in roster updates, and without those nosedives, they're still 2 and 3 in the MVP race. Cy Young obviously is going to go to DeGrom, but we got another runner-up here in Burns. The batting title, we don't have that. Jesse Winker had a 321 average. Man, he had a year too. What's next? Reliever of the year goes to Seth Lugo. 57 saves for him on the year, but a 3.39 ERA. That's it's not crazy. I don't know. Kind of feels like maybe they gave him that award purely based on how many saves he picked up. And then what's next? Rookie of the year, it was Bowden Francis. Good. There is justice in the world. What a season from him. We already looked at it. But yeah, no one even really close to contending. And you know what? I just realized I forgot to look at the American League for these. So real quick, Jordan wins MVP over JD and Trout. That had to have been a close race. Those are some similar stats. Cy Young went to Giolito. Nice. None of these guys under a 2 ERA though. That's kind of crazy. And then the batting title there went to Vlad with a 344 average. Reliever of the year went to Presley. That's impressive too. And then Rookie of the Year went to Kirilloff. All right, so then back to the National League. Hank Aaron Award, good. Yelich wins that. Trout wins it in the AL. On to Gold Gloves. I'm not going to switch back to the AL for these. I don't really care. But do we pick up any hardware? Wong wins it for second base. At least 3 years in a row he's picked up that award. I wonder if, no, probably not. I was going to say I wonder if Hira's primary position was first base, if he would have won it. Because he played first all year. He probably didn't play a single inning at second base. But just since his primary position is still listed at second, they put him there. Anything else? Segura, runner-up to the shortstop award, and nobody in the outfield. All right, then on to Silver Slugger. DeGrom wins it. For pitchers, catchers, we don't have Narvaez. First base, I mean, we didn't really have a first baseman. Hira, though, he was our first baseman, but he wins it for second base. That's kind of a hack, though, because if he was primary position first base, he's probably not winning that award. Third base, nobody. Shortstop, Baez. He came in third in the voting for shortstop. Outfield, Yelich picks up the award, and that is it. So on to the postseason awards. I think it's going to show us postseason MVP first. I'm betting it's Yelich, and yeah, it's Yelich. They don't even have any pitcher in the top 3. You can't tell me that Keston Hira had more of a contribution than Nola or even Woodruff or Burns. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they weigh it so much in favor of hitters when it comes to postseason awards. But Yelich wins it. by that logic, I'm assuming he'll also win World Series MVP. Yeah, 364 with 2 homers in the World Series specifically. And that is all the awards we have to go over. Actually, postseason MVP for the AL Urshela, in case anybody cared. And then we also, though, we have these Player of the Months. Might be fun to look through these. So we'll start with April. We got nobody. May, we got Yelich as Player of the Month. Man, he had 14 homers in the month of May alone. June, nobody. July, nobody. We had a clean sweep in August. Burns winning Pitcher of the Month with 5-0, 0.53 ERA and 63 strikeouts. Man, dude. And then Shaw wins Player of the Month. I don't know. I know he had a good year, a weirdly good year, but I didn't know he had that in him. 402 average with 6 homers, and then Bowden Francis Rookie of the Month. Then September, we didn't have anybody. So with that, then that pretty much wraps up this Brewers March to October. And just out of curiosity, because I had this thought that it might be something I'd want to do, maybe just for fun, if anybody else is interested. If nobody, if you're interested in what I'm about to say, leave a comment saying you'd think it'd be fun if I did it. If not, if nobody cares, I just won't do it. But maybe it could be fun to, in a future video, sim another season or 2 with this Brewers team. Just, completely hands off, see what happens, see if this team can repeat or anything like that. I don't know if it's anything you guys would be interested, but again, just let me know if you are. If not, I won't bother. But I think now it's time to say who I'm planning on using in the next March to October. We've got like 4 weeks at this point, I think. I think we still have 4 weeks to fit in one more March to October. So we are going to have to fly through that. We're going to have to be more consistent than I've ever been before, probably like an episode a day, to be able to fit it in before the next one comes out. But the team that I'm going to use is probably the most requested team whenever somebody leaves a comment saying who they want to see me do a March to October with. I feel like this team name is always the one that pops up the most. And that team is the Chicago Cubs. We've done the White Sox twice, we've done the Brewers twice, so we may as well go ahead and knock out the other team in the area. Take care of the Cubs. Finally go ahead and do those Cubs. I don't know what iteration of the team it'll be. I don't know if the rosters will still be from the very first roster update, like these Brewers rosters were, and in that case it'd be fun to, get one last shot to win it with like Rizzo, Baez, and Bryant. Or it might be updated to the final roster update, in which case it might be a little bit of a challenge, a little fun challenge to try and win with, Schwindel. But anyways, I'm excited about that. I know there's at least one person that watches my videos that's going to be very excited about that. And I'm looking to get that started here in probably the next couple of days. Like I said, we're going to have to really stay on it. So make sure you stick around. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss that. But guys, that's it. This is the end of the Brewers March to October here on MLB The Show 21. I said it in the last one after we won the World Series, but I'll say it again. Thank you guys for watching, not just this episode, but the whole series. It's kind of a roller coaster, like I said at the beginning of this one, between our team being good or not, or me being consistent or not. We're kind of all over the place, but thanks for sticking around. Make sure you stick around for the next one. The Cubs one should be a fun time one way or another. And then that will lead us right into MLB 22, and I am going to hit MLB 22 hard. I'm so excited for that game. So guys, with that is it. I hope you guys all enjoyed, and I will see you next time for that Cubs March to October.